is the managing editor for the Western Mirror. So we'll be talking to Mr. Lloyd B. Smith this morning about the Prime Minister's presentation. We're supposed to have him yesterday, but he was inadvertently, unavoidably absent yesterday because of issues that he had to deal with, an emergency there. So stick and stay with us for the next 3 hours or so. And of course, we'll be taking your calls because, you know, it's your program and we take delight in speaking to you. And indeed, we look forward to reading your message when you send them in as well. So let's hear from our sponsor as we get into Conrad Steak. All righty. So we're coming up with Conrad Steak. Let's hear from our sponsor. All right.
Conrad.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people.
You know, we are asking to give us a call, you know, do some business with us. You get your value for money here. And of course, we're always delighted and happy to tailor-made a package for your business pleasure based on your affordability, your budget, as it were. And of course, we are also available to do things like your outside broadcast and so on, to be on the ground there with you. So the team will be out there in live and living colors, and certainly you'll be getting value for money. Thanks to all of you who have been jumping on the YouTube channel so far. Please like and share and give us a subscription, all right? Okay, now, I am staying. No, I have to touch a little bit of the international and then I come local. So stay with me because you really don't want to miss my local commentary this morning. But before I come local, let me just say, again, officially welcome you to Conrad Steak. And we have been watching the dynamics that is taking place within the United States. Of course, the United States is a very interesting place to us because although we will critique the United States from time to time, we'll even be critical, but certainly we have a love affair with the United States. This thing that's called the visa, it is the pride and joy for a number of us. You know, some of us, it's of convenient and we're indeed delighted and happy that we have it so we can make a trip from time to time and so on. But there are some people that they live for their visa. Outside of living for their visas, the truth is that a number of our people have immigrated to the United States, you know, further their education, you know, create families and indeed create a life of their own, you know, build a house here in Jamaica, investment, and so on and so forth. And of course, make enormous contribution to the United States because indeed, if you are a student of history, then certainly you would know for sure that the United States is built on the back of immigrants. Huh? Even Donald Trump, who is trying fire, his antecedents certainly is through immigrant, his wife as well. Although you say the fire he's raging against immigrant, but the history will show based on his lineage, you know, that he is indeed coming through the whole lineage of people who immigrate to the United States or migrated to the United States. So all in all, we understand and we have great love and regard for our brothers and sisters in the United States. Huh? Because I don't know that you can talk to one Jamaican who don't have a family member, even a 10th cousin that is either a citizen, a green card holder, or whatever, that who is living in the United States. So, and of course, when we check the foreign exchange that come into Jamaica, because it's not really earned foreign exchange, remittances gift. Our people who is there, they send back money to Jamaica for their people here in Jamaica and to do whatever. So, but when you check that, it's very, very important to us because it's the highest contribution in terms of foreign exchange earnings or foreign exchange revenue that comes into Jamaica, because it is even much higher than the tourism earnings that we get out of the tourism sector. So it's a very, very important, the United States is a very important ally to us. Huh? So too is our brothers and sisters in Cuba. When you look at the contribution, the seminal contribution that they have made, huh? Whether it's within education, sports, medical, that is certainly reverberating right now in terms of their professionals being out of the country. They were here. The last day was the 20th of this month. And we're hoping and praying that there will be a balm in Gilead and something will be worked out so that we can have the Cuban professionals back in Jamaica to offer quality health care for our people. Is that possible? All things are possible if you only believe. So let's keep our fingers crossed there. Now, I must segue at 20 minutes up till 9 o'clock. Let me segue into our local scenario here. And this morning, front and center is the governing Jamaica Labour Party that seems to be having major issues in the halls of their organization. Huh? We understand that there is a major feud brewing, and we have the tapes. We can play them between Rosie, and what's Rosie's last name again? Rosie Hamilton, who is the sitting JLP councillor for the Raytown division. Of course, she ran there as in Central Kingston as MP before. And I'm working my source to ensure that I get an interview with Rosie right here on Sleek Radio. Because she has been saying quite a bit, accusing the sitting member of parliament, Mr. Williams. That's the sitting member of parliament for Central Kingston, Mr. Williams. Huh? Donovan Williams, about corruption, thievery, and all sorts of things, all out there, bare for everybody to see. And she vowed that she have the tape, she have the communique, she have the receipts of all of what she is saying. So all in all, it seems as if the relationship is so broken that there is absolutely no way that it can be fixed. We also got information that the First Lady, the wife of the Prime Minister, Mrs. Holness, she is hell-bent that Rosie will not be able to run or cannot run again for the Labour Party. We gather that she is thinking about going independent at one point. My source was saying that she was thinking about crossing the floor, going over to the PNP. But later information reaching me is that she is contemplating running independent. So, all in all, there are major feud, and it's not just Rosie, but there's a whole group of people who are very, very disgruntled with the Member of Parliament for Central Kingston, Mr. Williams, Mr. Donovan Williams, who is also the brother of the MP for Central Clarendon, Delroy Williams, affectionately called Feather. And we are watching those things because certainly we have two political parties in Jamaica, and whenever things are happening in either of them, we in media, we take particular interest because they are the organization that stand in the gap of governance, whether they are at Jamaica House or they are at the OLO. So we have interest in those things. And when you hear some people talk, they will create an impression as if the PNP is having issues in there. But the real issue is within the governing Jamaica Labour Party at this time. Recently, we heard where there was a little brouhaha going on where it was said that Damien Crawford was basically gearing up to challenge Mark Golding. Of course, we have seen where that have been put to rest within recent time, and there were speculation as to whether or not Mark Golding would continue to lead the party. He basically said recently, I think it was just last Wednesday, on a program on television in Jamaica, that indeed he is he will be leading the party into the next general election, and he doesn't foresee any challenge ahead. So that's put to rest. Also, you journey to Western Portland, and there are big issues there as well, as it relates to the sitting member of parliament, Darrell Vaz, who decide that he is thrown in the towel. But the contention is that the selection of a replacement, we understand it's already done. And this replacement is none other than Robert Big Rob Miller. We understand that he's out there. He's actually on the ground already. He's been introduced to the people out there in Western Portland. And I gather that it is not going down well at all with certain members of the executive of Western Portland. And indeed, even the sitting member of parliament is not so happy with that at all. We are tracking the scenario. We understand that the hastening of this particular situation with Mr. Vaz is because of what is brewing as it relates to the $1.4 billion situation with the school bus that is now being dubbed as the used bus scandal. Just last night, the president of the People's National Party and opposition leader, Mark Golding, he was on a popular YouTube channel, and I'll give credit to the channel. I think it's called PDTV, hosted by Andre Stephen. Mark was there last night, and we gather that he said that, listen, based on double checks and whatever, they believe that the school bus may have cost about 1/7 of what is said to have been spent. And when you do the calculation, that would work out maybe to about 200 million or so. So there's a deficit there of about $1.2 billion. And we understand that based on the fact that the Auditor General has special interest in that, that is creating all sorts of upheaval within the halls of the governing Jamaica Labour Party. And that may really something that could hasten the departure of the man who some people call Mr. Fix-It, Darrell Vaz, all right, who is the son of a former government minister as well, right? So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what's happening there. It's going to also be interesting to hear what my listeners will say today. Both JLP and PNP want to hear from all of you, want to hear from no P at all, just what is happening. Because obviously what we're seeing here is continued corruption that is taking place within the Holness-led administration, and that certainly is something that is stymied, that has stymied and continue to stymie the growth and development of this country and the benefit that the Jamaican people should derive from their tax-paying dollars. So all in all, it's very, very interesting space that we are in. So we continue to watch these things. I understand that a lot of people are saying that, listen, well, my source is telling me that a lot of councillors are very, very concerned at this time because they're saying that local government election, while it's over a year or so, but they're still saying it's around the corner. And they are thinking that some of the things that they are seeing that is being exposed right now, and the fact that the whole built out for persons who have suffered from the Hurricane Melissa situation and not given any assistance still out there, right? Just this morning, we're here coming out of the news and Radio Jamaica, where the MP, Miss Miller, down there in Hanover, she is saying that to date, her constituents have not received any benefit from the government of Jamaica. So all of that, a lot of the JLP councillors are gathered that they are quite worried that that could impact them in the upcoming local government election, whenever that is called, as is persons in the United States are worried that based on what is going on there with Donald Trump will impact the Democrat in the midterm in November. So there is a twinning there. All right, that's Conrad Steak. Stay with us.
Conrad Steak was brought to you by...
How long must we continue like this? And every 5 years, we jump up like we're a bunch of idiots. I have never seen in all my entire 50-something years in this country see so much corruption. I saw it in the 1990s. But the 1990s is baby compared to this. This Andrew Holness government is one of the most corrupt political organizations in the history of this country. This Andrew Holness administration is one of the most corrupt political administration in the history of Jamaica. I can repeat it again. This Andrew Holness administration, led by the leader himself, who is the Prime Minister of this country, Andrew Michael Bogard Holness, is one of the most corrupt organization in the history of Jamaica. One of the most corrupt government.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption.
How long must we continue like this? And every 5 years, we jump up like we're a bunch of idiots. I have never seen in all my entire 50-something years in this country see so much corruption. I saw it in the 1990s. But the 1990s is baby compared to this. This Andrew Holness government is one of the most corrupt political organization in the history of this country. This Andrew Holness administration is one of the most corrupt political administration in the history of Jamaica. I can repeat it again. This Andrew Holness administration, led by the leader himself, who is the Prime Minister of this country, Andrew Michael Bogard Holness, is one of the most corrupt organization in the history of Jamaica. One of the most corrupt government known. Everywhere you turn, corruption here, corruption there. And the sad part of it,
I've had to work for anything that I have had. I have said it before and I will say it again. I don't know what a gold spoon looks like. It has never been in my mouth. So, Comrade Golden, when I hear Andrew, I say him never born with gold spoon in my mouth. That does not mean you should steal it. I have no inheritance or any
Honorable Brian,
endowment.
the fireman. Of
or
course,
any
we're up
trust
live
fund anywhere.
on
That does not mean you should steal it.
that's www.sleekradio.com, and we are indeed live on the Conrad Obi, the Fireman YouTube channel. Thanks to all of you who are jumping on the Conrad Obi, the Fireman YouTube channel. Of course, we're inviting you to like and share the channel. Please, I beg you. All right? It's that time of the morning, 9:34, and of course, we are going to open the phone lines. So let's remind you of the numbers to call. The numbers are 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. Let me say hi and good morning to Jeffrey Tavares. Hi, Jeffrey, how you do? And indeed, also want to say hi to Head Boy, who is somewhere over there in the Eastern Caribbean. And let me also say hi to the Motleys over there in Barbados. I gather that I have a little fan club building all over the Eastern Caribbean. Thanks a lot. And some of my listeners and viewers said to me that I must remember to hail up our brothers and sisters in Africa, because I'm seeing where I'm getting quite a bit of persons with African names who are weighing in on the program here. And also there are some Africans who are living in Canada and so on. So hi to everybody. Thanks for your support. All right, let's go to our first call. Hello, caller. Hello. Not caller.
Yeah, Irma Conrad,
Yes.
morning.
Hi, good morning. Hi, Marie. How you do? Marie?
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Conrad, I wanted to know if you were hearing me. All right, Conrad, let me read something to you real quick. It's written by Daniel Archer, the former.
Marie?
Right? Enhance. This is what she wrote.
Hold on.
Enhance.
Marie, hold on.
Yes.
Go slowly and talk into the phone directly. I'm having a little bit of challenge.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay. So let me start again. But what I'm going to say to you, right? It was written by Daniel Archer, former head of the National Integrity Action, right? And I always used to, say Mr. Holness is this person, the king parading down Main Street naked while everybody was cheering that he had on good clothes, So enhanced Christian answers, the Emperor's new clothes, an entire kingdom watches a leader walk naked through the streets. Everyone sees the truth. No one speaks, not the ministers, not the advisors, not the public, not the institutions. The fear of consequence becomes more powerful than the clarity of truth. Source, Daniel Archer, former principal, National Integrity. That's what she wrote. But I always used to say that, you see, this PM, has been given unfettered powers by maybe those is party, which we understand, but civil society and all of that. Hardly anybody calls him out. You, Conrad, I'm not talking about you because you speak truth to power, and you make the chips fall where they want, where they may. But the others, they see truth. Even last week with that $20 water fiasco, the comments on social media, plenty of them, even people in journalism, berating Mark as if to say what he spoke about water being sold for being more expensive than gas. Like I pick it out of the ear and I lie in my tell. People that should know better. And this is what is happening to Jamaica.
Let me put that to bed, Marie. I urge anyone who is buying a liter of gas, persons who are driving this morning or listening otherwise, Stop at any of our gas
Yes.
stations. Ask how much per liter for the gas. And even if that gas station is at the upper end, because in Portland, if you have gas is selling for about 200 and maybe a little bit per liter. I invite them to go inside the gas station, the same gas station, and purchase a liter of water. And I challenge, I am willing to wager a bet that that liter of water will be more expensive than the gas right here on the campus of UA that I'm broadcasting from. If you go walk over the step out to buy a bottle of water, a 1 liter, liter bottle of water, it's the cheapest you can get one for is $200. $200. There are places here that sell it for more than 200. Hello.
Only water. I know, Conrad, they have some little bag waters, you see. That's like the bag juice that people sell on the roadside for maybe like 50, but for the bottled water, I never see him because we know that was nonsensical. You're talking about on Andre's program, Marcos on the program, and Conrad,
Marie, your call is drawing. Your call is drawing, Marie.
7.
Marie,
the price of
Marie,
what Mr. Vaz said.
All right. Yeah, let's see if we can fix that. Because we have another. Let's go to the other call and then we fix Marie. Hello, caller.
Hi, morning, Mr. O'Brien.
Hi, Marlon. How you doing? Morning.
I hope my call is not drawing.
Well,
or writing for that matter.
Well, I don't know if if we will tell you if that is so, because we want to hear our caller clearly, our callers clearly.
All right, so a couple points here, Mr. O'Brien, but I'll start with one that I heard you discussing just now, and that is the matter of water, the price of water vis-a-vis the price of gasoline.
Yes.
Now, the price of the respective commodities was not the gravamen of the Prime Minister's illustration or point, because the truth of the matter is that as the Prime Minister articulated in the Parliament itself, as he demonstrated in the Parliament, you will have a product with varying price points, because if you and I go to a bar, you may find a bottle of water retailing for as much as $200. You may find a bottle of water, well, even $250. And if you go to a vendor, whether at a school gate or elsewhere, it may be $150, $100, you name it. So that's not the government at the point. I have a water bottle that I use in my house. It's a 5-gallon water bottle. It is $350, Mr. O'Brien, for me to fill my 5-gallon water bottle. Think about it carefully. 5-gallon contains several liters. And my 5-gallon water bottle, when I go to the store, and I usually get the filtered water for $350. If you want the alkaline, it may be for as much as $500. But that is a far cry from what 5 gallons of gasoline would be. So the gravamen of the point, so just to be clear, the gravamen of the point the Prime Minister is making is that for someone who is offering himself, and certainly who offered himself to serve this country as Prime Minister, it leaves much to be desired for Mark Golding to go out of his way to purchase water for more than what he would purchase gasoline for, and to come and try and make a point out of that.
Trust me, Marlon, that spin they can't work.
There's faulty management. That's not how sensible people operate their households.
Marlon, that spin cannot work, and you must stop it. That's
Sir, I have 4 or 5 gallon bottles in my household looking at right now.
Hold on, that's been, and you say, I keep on saying, this is the reason why people are so.
What spin? What is the spin?
Hold on.
What is the spin?
Hold on, please, allow me. This is why people are so turned off, The opposition, and you can give credit where credit is due. The opposition leader distinctly said that said that this morning, any corner shop or out there, You pay. This is the price for it.
And the Prime Minister didn't dispute that, Mr. Brand.
So that's so.
The
what
Prime Minister saying in the marketplace there are more. First of all, we live in a market economy, unlike our brothers and sisters in Cuba. And in our marketplace, sir, we may have the Brilliant, we may have Fiji water, we may have Evian water.
You come for the Cubans this morning.
No, come on, that is just an aside, my friend.
Why you have to do that?
Because, right, so let's be clear.
We know that the Jamaica Labour Party has never been a party that is in favor of the Cubans.
Forget our friends in Cuba. Forget our friends in Cuba.
Yes.
Let me keep it local. In Jamaica, sir, because I don't like the idea of people missing the forest for the trees. In Jamaica, Mr. O'Brien, we have choices as consumers, and the consumer is king in a market economy. It behooves us to operate sensibly and within the context of our budget and our taste to do the things that deliver best value for money for our household. I have 4 5-gallon water bottles in my house. From time to time when I go to the water store, whether I opt to buy the alkaline water or just the basic purified water, the basic purified one is in the order of $350 and the alkaline one is about $450 or $500. I can't remember the precise figure.
We'll move on from that because you say you have some things, but let me close by saying
let me close by
saying
we're not closing on this point.
Yes, let me close
Very
by
well.
saying
Yes, sir.
let's close out on this point.
Sure.
The truth is that none of us going to be stopping at a gas station and going to basically want a bottle of water and go for a 5-gallon or anything. The opposition leader was talking about the situation to deal with that. So I don't know that we have, and I mean, it was kind of distasteful. I don't know why the Prime Minister...
Mr. Bryan, there are some households that from the 5-gallon bottle, because you know the 5-gallon water bottle, it has the respective dispensers, whether the pump or the one that you press, because you charge it from time to time, you press and the water is dispensed. So you may have a water container or a water bottle, that's a smaller water bottle that you fill from your larger water bottle. An economical household and a sensible household may find it worth their while to use solutions like those, rather than those persons who want to run the country and don't even know some basics in relation to money management.
Come on, Marlon. Don't do that. That's not going anywhere with any sensible. That is not going anywhere with any sensible people. Yeah. So let's move on. Move to the next point, Marlon, please.
To the other point. You mentioned a program of last evening, and I watched that program with careful intent. The opposition leader, Mr. O'Brien, contrary to what you said last week, operated contrary to what he himself and Julian Robinson have been saying throughout this budget debate. Last evening on the YouTube channel, Andre Stevens' Toxic YouTube program, Mark Golding indicated that there is no FinSAC report. Now, as we know, Mr. O'Brien, a woman cannot be pregnant and not pregnant at the same time. She's either pregnant or not pregnant. So just to be very clear, how is it that Mark Golding on YouTube last evening was able to corroborate what me and others in the Jamaica Labour Party have been saying all along, that the work of the FinSAC Commission of Inquiry, sir, did not culminate in a report. They did not produce a report. But yet the same Mark Golding who said something else on Andre Stevens' program last night, throughout the budget debate, was saying that the government must release the report. When he was on his feet last Tuesday, he called on the Prime Minister to release the report, knowing full well that there was no report to be released because there is simply no report.
Meaning that a report should have been.
You interpret dreams now.
A report should have been generated, and we're still saying that the government must present the FinSAC report. We're not going to renege and back away.
No man, your leader started that out last night on YouTube. Because let me tell you what is important about last night.
Let's give Andre his credit. I'm not going to go down there and talk about toxic or whatever. Let's give him the credit.
But let me say this, Mr. O'Brien.
Hold on, please, Marlon. Andre Stevens, very popular YouTube channel.
Let us not waste a minute on that, man. That's editorializing to advance this conversation.
Right? But you
so respectfully, Mr. Bryan.
The young man thing. You don't have to do that, Papa.
Mr. Bryan, respectfully, Mr. Bryan, right? You see, when a person is speaking truthfully, they don't have to draw on recollection, because when you are speaking truthfully, you are simply engaging in the facts as you know it. But you see, when you are dealing in falsehoods, that is what creates inconsistency.
And where is the falsehood?
Let me give you the inconsistency. Mark Golding veered away from the PNP talking points on YouTube last evening. That's what got him last evening. The falsehood that they've been peddling about release reports, knowing full well that there's no report. So the truth came out last night. In fact, Mr. Bryan, I have sent the clip to the phone, News Talk's phone, and to your producer. Kindly play that cut that I have sent from Andre Stevens' Unonono's YouTube program, in your view, from last night, so that your listeners, many of whom are PNP supporters, who PNP people like to mislead, my friend, very well. So watch me now. I have sent the audio.
Absolutely.
It is 43 seconds.
Good. And no
play
problem.
that 43 seconds audio.
We will. You get
at an appropriate juncture in this program.
You have a commitment. Thanks.
Let the citizens hear. Let the listeners hear Mark Golding in Mark Golding's own words.
I will. Before 1 minute before you go, Marlon, I've been inundated with messages and so on, right? Off air and on air. Asking what is your job description now that you have a government job? What is your job description? Because they're saying that they're wondering if your job description is basically to come on these various programs and try to make defense for the government.
Tell those persons who would have inundated you, watch me now, Mr. Brand, those persons who would have inundated you with the various messages and calls and whatnot should appreciate that I am a high capacity individual. I work 24/7. I work around the clock, like how I was sitting up late at my house yesterday, tuning into that, what I described as a toxic YouTube program with the opposition leader saying one thing on Monday the 23rd of March when he said something totally different on Tuesday the 17th of March.
Your job description, so let's stick to the point. Your job description.
Let's go to the job description. So let me go to the job description. My job description, sir, is to provide support to the work of the Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information as Parliamentary Secretary, which, among other things, sir, include putting verified, accurate, and, of course, instructive information out into the public domain, whether Conrad O'Brien or Mark Golding likes it or not.
Thank you very much, Marlon.
Am I clear? All the best, my brother.
Don't leave me. In your substantive
43
position now.
Seconds.
In your
43 seconds.
In your I'm going to play it. In your substantive position as Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Information. Information came to me that in a school that I'm well familiar with, Homewood Technical High School up there in Manchester, there's an incident there with a youngster who lost an eye. We gather that the minister went there quietly and did not say anything, and parents are very, very concerned about that. I gather that this could be very well be a court case. Or you in and that, and they're saying
didn't say anything.
That's my information. I don't know if that is so, but that's why I'm putting it to you. Hold on, Marlon, please. That's why I'm putting it to you now as a responsible broadcaster. I'm putting it to you because of your role in that ministry. Can you shed any light on that? Are you aware of it? And what is the label?
So you are bringing that information and indeed the assertions that undergird your information to my attention for the first time. But separate and apart from that, the policy of the government is that our schools must be safe spaces and they must facilitate the appropriate engagement and upskilling of our students. And so it is very regrettable, as you have asserted on this program, that a student at the Homewood Technical High School would have lost an eye. I don't know the circumstances, but
let's say it was a metalwork student, and what they're saying.
There you go. Nobody voluntarily loses an eye, so those must have been unfortunate circumstances.
Marlon, let me assist now. I'm saying to you
Sure.
that what happened there, it happened there. But what the conversation that I'm getting, and I'm giving you the information so you can verify, is that the tools are faulty and whatever, and as a result of that, it creates a hazardous condition within the workshop. And as I understand it, the youngster lost an eye. So, you're saying that is the very first time that you're hearing it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So let me give you the person on the position. So to be clear, in keeping with the safe space obligation that the government of Jamaica has and the duty of care that all of us as responsible adults and school stakeholders have for our children, yes? If investigations and appropriate verification suggests that there was either negligence or delinquency on the part of any functionary in relation to whom we're technical, the chips ought to fall where they may. Here in Jamaica, Mr. O'Brien, we're a free and democratic state, and people like that youngster they are able to approach the courts for what is called, actions against government. And as you know, the government pays judgment debts from time to time in accordance with the directives of the court or rulings by the court.
All right,
we are a nation of laws, not of men. And I want to commiserate with that young man and commiserate with his family, because nobody volunteers to lose an eye. And indeed, the loss of an eye is not something for anybody to campaign on or seek to score political points on.
Come on, Marlon.
I'm not suggesting that you are, I'm not suggesting that you are, sir.
There, all you need to do is to end by
so
saying...
I've done the appropriate thing. I have commiserated with the family, and I wish that young man see the recovery and all the best in his academic endeavors.
Let me school you on something, Marlon. There is decency. There's decency in saying thank you, thanks for the information, thanks for bringing it to my attention, because that's what I'm doing, just bringing it to your attention as a person with that hold a position within the Ministry of Education.
And let me do the decent and honorable thing by thanking you wholeheartedly, Mr. O'Brien, for apprising me of that matter.
Bless you. Take care. Have a great one. And I'll play the clip. All right? I'll play the clip. Is it lined up there, Madam Producer? All right, let's go to the call and we'll play the clip. We'll play the clip that Senator sent us. That clip from Mr. Golden. Hello, caller? Hello?
Morning, Mr. COB.
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Morning.
Welcome.
Not bad. That brother named Marlon. I don't know, but I don't know if I'm thinking that...
Don't make Marlon distract you from making your substantive point.
No.
Marlon has done his...
No, he's not distracting me, but I'm just trying to say that they don't realize that sometimes, I don't know if they listen to himself, if they listen to realize that, because you go on the road and you stop anywhere you stop to buy a water, it's $100. You're driving and you say, boy, I'm thirsty, the day is hot. When we stop at one of those vendors, that means you're not going to support those vendors who sell water on the roadside, who don't have a job and trying to make a living. So everywhere you go,
you must walk with your 5-gallon bottle. I can't. So the poorly come on. The poorly come on who they on the road and make a juggling. This is what is causing, which is what is giving some employment to some people. They mustn't sell no water.
The truth is, these politicians probably can afford to fill up their whatever and put in there. You have a lot of people who can't afford to even go to full of 5-gallon to put in their house. But in a general way, even if you have a 5-gallon at home and you walk with a little buckle and it run out, you might still stop at a shop or wherever to buy a water, because that's what it is. So it's a reality. It is a reality.
That is why
even when you have the water in your house.
That is why I found the point of the Prime Minister and what Marlon seek to do just now as a non-issue. It's a non-point. The fact is that the leader made the point, the leader of opposition made the point that this is the lay of the land. A bottle of water is more expensive than a liter of gas.
It is. And it is a reality. It is a reality, because the people who are selling on the roadside, even if you're driving to the country and you see these people selling, it's a convenient spot for somebody who just wants a water. You probably run out and you forget to bring a liquor back with you then, as Marlon would say. But it's a reality. You wonder if these people can't see it, you know, because it's also a little job for the man who on the roadside who don't have a work to sell, to buy one case of water and sell back with 2 little Pepsi and thing. But it's a reality. Another thing, you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm listening to you, man. Mm-hmm.
Another thing, every time I hear the government come up with this FinSac for the last 20 years, they've been talking about this FinSac, and they can't come up with any concrete proof to say this is what's happening. So they're using it as a threat to say FinSac this or FinSac that.
No,
bring the facts
home,
bring on the receipt.
The reason why they
present
can't,
us.
the reason why they
the
can't.
same thing like when them go on the water argument, they're always trying to dally around
But the
reality.
reason why they can't, and
when they don't have.
Hold on, caller. Let's call a spade a spade. The reason why they can't, we're not idiot. The FinSac report, if it should come out, it's embarrassing to people who sit right here in the present administration. It's embarrassing.
Right.
So they dare
Well,
not.
they must stop talking.
You believe
they must shut up.
Hold on, caller. You believe the opposition pushing hard on the government and say, make the FinSac report available. You believe that if this report was basically not embarrassing to the government, the JLP that led by Andrew Michael Brogard Rodham Holness, a man who is deep in politics and look for every pressure point to push, you believe they wouldn't have put that report out?
They would have used it from the election. It would have been on the campaign trail to present on that election were gone. And it's 20 years ago. 20 years ago.
Oh, boy.
You know? It's over 20 years ago they keep talking about the same thing. This is from Bruce Colin days.
Yeah, man, because it was the major campaign strategy that was used by Manayard, my good friend Audley Shaw, and said vowed that he would present the report. That's from that time. But
exactly.
caller, we're up on the break. We're now at 10 o'clock. All right. Thanks a lot for your call today. Thanks for weighing in. All the best. God bless you. Let's go to the 10 o'clock break. So come.
You know, I don't normally comment on certain things, but I have to comment on Idiot Amin. If you believe that Andre Stevenson program is what you call it on Mr. O'Brien's show, then why are you watching Mr. Stevenson program? If it's so toxic like the Labour Party, why are you watching the Young Man program? If Andre Stevenson program is as toxic as how you describe it on Conrad O'Brien's show a while ago, Marlon Morgan, Idiot Amin, why are you watching it? You believe that the lies that you spew every day, both in the parliament and outside of the parliament, will change the way how the Jamaican people think about you and the Labour Party? Huh? Do you believe, Idiot Amin, Senator Marlon Morgan, that the lies that you spew all over the place will change the way how the Jamaican people think about you and the Labour Party? Why didn't you go on Conrad O'Brien's program and talk about the $185 million in salary overspending at the Ministry of Education that you have been a part of from beginning to end? But you come and talk about Andre Stevenson's program as a toxic program. If it's so a toxic program, why the hell are you going to listen to it then? Huh? You are one of the most toxic politicians in the history of this country. Why don't speak about what is going on in the belly of the Labour Party with the councillor and the sitting member of parliament? I said it earlier and I say it again now. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it back on here. Listen to what I said last night on my program.
How long must we continue like this? And every 5 years, we jump up like we're a bunch of idiots.
I have never seen in all my entire 50-something years in this country see so much corruption. I saw it in the 1990s. But the 1990s is baby compared to this. This Andrew Holness government is one of the most corrupt political organization in the history of this country. This Andrew Holness administration is one of the most corrupt political administration in the history of Jamaica. I can repeat it again. This Andrew Holness administration, led by the leader himself, who is the Prime Minister of this country, Andrew Michael Bogard Holness, is one of the most corrupt organization in the history of Jamaica. One of the most corrupt government known. Everywhere you turn, corruption here, corruption there. And the sad part of it.
You know the funniest thing, ladies and gentlemen, people, as we're going to rejoin Conrad O'Brien. You know the funniest thing? These politicians, including Idiot Amin, believe that the Jamaican people mustn't talk about what they're going on with. And because Andre Stevenson and a Make We Talk and a Wayne Lonesome and a Jeffrey Tov and a Mystic Sensation and others, because we don't sit down and listen to the spews of lies and we call them out on it, it's a problem for them, you know. You must not call them out on their lies. Marlon Morgan, I'll say it again. Him lie on Monday, him lie on Tuesday, him lie on Thursday, him lie on Friday, him lie on Monday, lie on Tuesday, lie on Wednesday, lie on Thursday, lie on Friday. Marlon Morgan is one of the most hello. When Marlon want to lie, you know, man, he take over your program. That's why Marlon Morgan can't come and Make We Talk or wait for that again program, you know. Because we deal with him over Portland Spice TV. We were the one who shut him up for about a week or a month. He couldn't come and pan our program because we shut him up. This politician lies. Everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. We're going to call the young man program toxic. The Labour Party is toxic with corruption. The Labour Party has some criminals in it. And you are part of the criminality. But Andre Stevens' program is toxic. How toxic can you get? You won't come and explain to the people of this country of the $185 million overpayment in the Ministry of Education when they come on to salaries. While teachers in St. Elizabeth can't get their proper salary. What are they talking? About toxic. Your organization, your political organization, the Jamaica Labour Party, which Buster Mant is rolling in his grave, and Edward Siaga, to see where you and Andrew want to put the Labour Party. Your political organization, the Jamaica Labour Party, is as stink as Riverton Dump when it comes down to corruption in this country. I have seen corruption in the 1990s under PJ Patterson, you know. Don't get me wrong. But this Jamaica Labour Party, led by Andrew Holness, is one of the most corrupt political organization in the history of this country. As we stand by to rejoin Mr. O'Brien. This Andrew Holness administration is one of the most corrupt government since independent Jamaica. You don't think Patterson administration was corrupt in the 1990s? Check this one. You believe that Patterson administration under the PNP was corrupt in the 1990s. Check on Jonas administration. It's one of the most corrupt political organizations in the history of Jamaica.
Let me remind you that we're up on the 93 FM band. We're also streaming at www.sleekradio.com. And of course, we're up live on the Conrad Obi, the Fireman YouTube channel. Welcome to our feature spotlight. We turn our attention to the recently presented 2026-27 budget in Parliament by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, which outlines strategies to accelerate economic growth, strengthen climate resistance, and fast-track the major investment project through the Fast Jamaica initiative. Key highlights include the focus on infrastructure development, climate resistance, reconstruction, job creation, and expanded skills training at Heart and NSTA, Trust to and others. To help us unpack the budget, and its implication, we're joined by veteran journalist and political commentator and owner of Western Publish Limited, Lloyd B. Smith. Mr. Smith, so we're awaiting to join by Mr. Lloyd B. Smith. So all in all, the budget debate, it will be coming to a close this afternoon as we will see the the Minister of Finance. She will be on her feet this afternoon to close the 2026-27 budget presentation or budget debate, as it were. We have been hearing discussion about kind of changing the structure of the budget because somehow it gave the governing party too much of an advantage and so on. I think that's something that had been promulgated or been, enhanced that view by debater Mr. Jermaine Barrett, my very good friend Jermaine. So while we await Mr. Smith to join Mr. Smith, let me see. Okay. All right. So we're going to join Mr. Smith momentarily. I have so much messages coming on the YouTube channel. This guy Marlon is a piece of whatever, and so we're not going to go there. And is always sending Andre texts 2 a.m. in the morning. Really? Okay. All right. So we are awaiting our guest, Mr. Lloyd B. Smith. We are going to keep it tight. It's now 11 minutes after 10 o'clock. So we will close this segment with Mr. Lloyd B. Smith at 10:30. Mr. Smith is on. Let's go to our guest, veteran journalist and indeed founder, owner, and publisher of the Western Publish Limited. We call it Western Mirror for short. Hello, Lloyd B, how are you doing? Mr. Smith?
Well, I've had a little challenge recently, but it's being dealt with, and I'm okay so far.
Absolutely. And, Lloyd B, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm going to basically spill the bean this morning. Lloyd B and I go way back when I was working at Hot 102. At the time, Lloyd B used to do the talk show. Julia Meikle was the duty announcer. And of course, Lloyd B, you probably don't even know say me I talk to, but it's all right.
I see. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. So, Lloyd B, I'm happy that you were able to attend to that emergency and you're good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. No, Mr. Smith, we saw the budget presentation went on, and of course, the people on his feet on Thursday. I have a few questions that I want to just put to you. First of all, how would you summarize the main priorities of the 2026-27 budget?
Well, it would appear to me that the main focus was not so much on 2026, but beyond, because when you look at the overarching vision that he presented, and which would have included a number of what we call mega projects. You and I know that in Jamaican context, 4 years, not enough time for those projects to become a reality. You know, so clearly he wanted to give the nation a sense of hope and direction. But in terms of dealing with the nitty-gritty of where we are now, in terms of the Middle East crisis, the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, and some basic everyday problems that are still plaguing the society, I did not get the sense that enough was done to drill down into those areas. What we got, as I said, was an overarching vision of the future, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes, and especially in an environment where immediate gratification is the order of the day, I would have hoped that he would have zeroed in on some of the very pressing issues that we now face at the moment. Gas price, I mean, we know things we don't have full control over, but these things were sort of just glossed over and not given, to me, sufficient focus and attention.
Absolutely, Mr. Smith. As it relates to that, you see, you believe that it's a missed opportunity. You're in Western Jamaica. Recently, we heard the head of the police down there saying that domestic violence is on the increase because people, the unemployment and so on, you know, so people are basically taking this out on each other. You think it's a missed opportunity where the Prime Minister did not clearly outline how we are going to start basically say brick and steel moving immediately and create that kind of throughput within the economy in the Western Belt?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because let us not fool ourselves, you know. A lot of these incidents of domestic violence, apart from maybe in cases where you may have, you know, some amount of infidelity or you know, but a lot of it has to do with the socioeconomic conditions in which people live, you know. And especially for the men, very often they are put under a lot of pressure by their baby mothers or their girlfriends or their wives to deliver. And when they cannot, there are even further pressure, and this can lead to all kinds of acts of violence, you know. So I think we need to begin to realize that the social fabric of the society of Jamaica is unraveling, and we are not paying enough attention to that. I've always said the pouring of concrete and asphalt alone cannot build a nation. We have to focus on the people, to build the people, what we call the social
human capital.
That has to be one of our main focuses, you know.
Good. That said, Mr. Smith, you know, we know it wasn't addressed fulsomely, but what do you see, if any, that was the most impactful initiative for the everyday Jamaica? Can you identify anything in the budget that the Prime Minister put forward?
Well, I sort of like some of the interventions with respect to the NHT situation. I suspect
the whipping horse as usual.
Yes, having continued to raid the barn, he tried to backtrack in a sense and to give, you know, teachers, police, the younger people some sort of leverage in order to get a home and so on. That was a positive sort of thing, I don't have a problem with that. The But there are some plans that he announced here that to me are far-reaching and could be game changers. But as I said, they are not going to happen within the 4 years.
Good. And
and that's what bothers me, because we have a way. There was a former U.S. ambassador, Gary Cooper, who made a very trenchant statement, which didn't go down well with the politician, but he said that we are a nation that is
applaud
very good
announcement.
at making announcements. We love to make announcements. Look how long Conrad Regional has been there and cannot be finished.
Yes.
And now he's talking about building a KP8, a new KP8 with so many other big things there. How long will they take? And yes, we have now been told that there's this NARA and there is FAST. And that's another thing that bothers me. All these acronyms that come to the fore, the FAST, the NARA, the SPARK, you name them. I mean, it's all layers of bureaucracy.
At this time, sorry, Mr. Smith. At this time, I'm trying to throw in as much. At this time, Mr. Smith, with people out there living under crushed up zinc and tarpaulin and so on, the Prime Minister announced the building out of a new hub park camp over there, Camp Rockford. You think that's necessary, Mr. Smith?
Not at this time. We are not a nation that is threatened militarily. Our borders are only being challenged by drug traffickers. And I think they from all indications, with the help of the American government in terms of the DA, can deal with that. I really don't see where we need, I'm concerned about that aspect of it. And I don't want to sound facetious, but I keep wondering if we are moving towards a military state, because why this emphasis on this aspect of our national life? Our military should be more involved in reconstruction and that sort of thing.
Well, the Israeli is very close to this government. You think they're taking advice from them with this kind of build out that we're seeing, Lloyd? And wouldn't that be dangerous?
It could well be, it could well be. And the fact is, that when you move about in the country at large, there's a lot of suffering out there. I mean, people can't come up with 3 meals a day, and one of the tragedies of modern Jamaica is that very few of us cook at home anymore. Everybody goes home with a box food and fast food, and then what happens with that is that you have to find the money to buy, and and not only that, we know of the health consequences. So there's no attempt, I think, at getting the average Jamaican to become more self-sufficient, and as a result of that, there's this dependency syndrome on the politician. And when you look at what happens in the inner city and in the rural areas. And that's another major problem I had with Mr. Dr. Holness's presentation. There was not enough focus on rural development, because what I see there was just urban. And what that means is that you're attracting everybody to come into the urban space, which then leads to squatting, which then leads to more criminal activity. We need to see where in the rural areas greater emphases are being made on agriculture, for example, because food sufficiency is of critical importance. If what is happening in the Middle East is any indication, and with the climate change realities, and with what happened with us with Melissa, food, food, as simple as we take it.
Absolutely. Food security is a big part. Lloyd B, what are the potential challenges that you're seeing in implementing the climate resilience? Infrastructure plan like redevelopment of Black River and so on. How you say that?
Well, it's going to take a lot of money. And what wasn't clear in the Prime Minister's presentation, there were two aspects of his presentation where Black River was concerned. One was there was no specific timeline as to when the project would start and finish. And, when you look at what happened over in St. Thomas with that urban center there, which was, open before the time, just to suit a political objective.
A finished project that was not finished.
Right. And so that's going to be one of the challenges, the finishing line and the financing. I think Mark Bolden made some suggestion about going to the international court in order to get some money for climate. So there's some climate change funding.
Yes.
It may sound far-fetched, but, we are drowning man clutches at a straw. And I don't know if all of these projects can be sufficiently funded and in time. Because remember, we had a major national objective which now becomes a dream deferred. And that is Vision. You remember Vision
2030? Yeah, man.
And what it says,
that look like now Vision 2060.
That's 4 years time,
No, that look like Vision 2060. But Lloyd, as you talk about, something that Mark said in terms of putting back, I have two more that I want to get in, but let me get this in quickly. What Mark said in his presentation, he gave an example with this water situation versus the gasoline, and the Prime Minister himself weighed in on that. You think that was a waste of time? Because in my view, as I said, what the opposition leader said was really a truism. When you look at buying the water, it is more expensive than a liter of gas. What would you say about that?
It was an act of symbolism, as I said, truism. The Prime Minister, on the other hand, is a very deft and clever politician, he has those persons around him who give him these little ideas and how to get back at Golding. And so in the moment it sounds very, smart and cute and so on. But when you take away the froth, there's really no substance. Because the fact is that gasoline, where it is heading now, and water, on the other hand, we are supposed to be the land of wood and water. So I really thought that the symbolism used by Golding was on point, but at the same time, the Prime Minister used politicking, as we say, to counter it, and maybe got away with it in the eyes, especially of his ardent followers.
Indeed, Mr. Simon. I must touch on skills training. How significant is the expansion of skills training at Heart NTA Trust and for the framework of development?
All right, no,
for the workforce development.
I don't know if a lot of Jamaicans remember that for several budget presentations going back now, the Prime Minister has been talking about establishing these STEAM institutions.
He said 6 or whatever.
And he has now come back again and made announcements, and we are hoping that this time it will happen. Hart has been doing a reasonably good job. My problem is, and I'm being very frank here, the emphasis with Hart seems to be more on producing people to work in the hotels and in the call centers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry to say that, if we are going to really build the economy, what we need are more entrepreneurs, what we need are more persons skilled in other areas such as high tech and so on. And so I think the heart needs to refocus itself, because we don't just want waiter. I'm not saying it's demeaning to be a waiter,
But it's true. It's true. It's true.
but we are creating a servient society rather than a society that is empowered. People must be empowered so that they can gain a skill that they can then use to start their own little business. And science, we have failed to create enough scientifically minded youngsters in the society.
Good.
When we look at what's happening with AI and the whole technological advancement in the rest of the world, we are way behind that.
Absolutely, and it's not the first time the Prime Minister talk about skills training through heart trust, and we have not seen that. But in closing, Mr. Smith, because I know you're up on time. Overall, do you think this budget balanced the economic growth and social and environmental needs effectively?
Well, it is the kind of budget to me that is built on hope more than substance, because look, the reality is that we are about 2 to 3 months away from another hurricane season. And we don't know what to expect where that is concerned. We don't know how long this escalation in the Middle East will continue for. And of course, there are going to be other peripheral adverse effects coming out of that. And so it seems to me that I don't think we have got our act sufficiently together. I think we are taking on too much at one time rather than dealing with the basic necessities of life. The cost of living, for example. I'll give you a quick example. The minimum.
Yes, Mr. Smith? Hello?
You're having a musical background which I cannot compete with.
I'm having a what? Okay,
there's a music.
It was the theme. It was the theme. But the theme, because we're coming to the end and we know you have to leave us at 10:30. So in closing now, 30 seconds. Yes, Mr. Smith. I don't know what. Not hearing Lloyd be there. All right. I think we are at the end of it. Wanted to give Mr. Smith a 30 second to just close. He's gone. We lost him. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I was saying that just use the last 30 seconds just to close.
I'm saying that we need to go back to dealing with the social capital. The people must be at the center of national development, not on the periphery. And what I'm still seeing is a top-down type of economic model, which will never work in Jamaica. We need to go back to the other way of doing business, which is to start from the bottom up, which means people empowerment and getting the average man to live a better quality of life. That's where we need to start.
Thank you very
much. And our policy should reflect this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. All the best. God bless you, sir.
You're welcome.
God bless you. All right. That's Mr. Lloyd B. Smith, managing editor of the Western Mirror and indeed veteran journalist. Thanks, Mr. Smith, for joining us today. We are going to the break now. The time is now 10:32. Let's go to the break. So come.
It is now 11:32 here in the United States. We are going to rejoin Conrad O'Brien soon on his program. But as we were talking about what is truly going on in our country, Jamaica, many of the media houses and radio stations in Jamaica will not carry what we are carrying. And that is why you have politicians like Marlon Morgan will come out and speak about toxic program and toxic this and toxic that. He can continue to talk all he want to talk, you know. I can tell you one thing. He ain't going to stop me. And I'm sure to hell he ain't going to stop Andre Stevenson. And I double sure he's not going to stop Wilfred Rattigan. So let Marlon continue talking. Until we rejoin Conrad O'Brien, we go to our own commercial break here. We'll be right back.
How long must we continue like this? And every 5 years, we jump up like we're a bunch of idiots. I have never seen in all my entire 50-something years in this country see so much corruption. I saw it in the 1990s. But the 1990s is baby compared to this. This Andrew Holness government is one of the most corrupt political organization in the history of this country. This Andrew Holness administration is one of the most corrupt political administration in the history of Jamaica. I can repeat it again. This Andrew Holness administration, led by the leader himself, who is the Prime Minister of this country, Andrew Michael Bogard Holness, is one of the most corrupt organization in the history of Jamaica. One of the most corrupt government known. Everywhere you turn, corruption here, corruption there. And the sad part of it,
I've had to work for anything that I have had. I have said it before and I will say it again. I don't know what a gold spoon looks like. It has never been in my mouth.
So, Comrade Golden, when I hear Andrew, I say I'm never born with gold spoon in my mouth. That does not mean you should steal it.
I have no inheritance or any endowment or any trust fund anywhere.
That does not mean you should steal it.
I've had to work for anything that I have had. I have said it before and I will say it again. I don't know what a gold spoon looks like. It has never been in my mouth.
So, Comrade Golden, when I hear Andrew, I say I'm never born with gold spoon in my mouth. That does not mean you should steal it.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from
League Radio, the big 93. And midday. We're in the hour that is sponsored by our friends at Wellington Dental. It's now 10:36. We're also streaming live via www.sleekradio.com and we're live lines. The numbers are 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. We are taking your calls. And we just had that discussion with Mr. Lloyd B. Smith. Of course, he raised a number of concerns there. You know, he believed that the kind of economic model that the government is pursuing, we need to change from that. And, you know, the top-down approach, and we need to start build from the bottom up, and our people will benefit more from that. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, welcome, caller.
Morning, Conrad.
Hi, Africa. Good morning. How you doing?
You know, my president, I'm not give thanks right now. It's good to be here, you know.
To God be the glory, man. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yes, talk to me.
Mm-hmm. The people of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Once the government don't interested to invest in them,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? We are in serious problem.
Well, certainly that's one of the point that Mr. Lloyd B. Smith just made. You know, he's saying that, listen, we need to basically shelve some of these things that we're talking about and really look at how we develop the people. Because if we look at certain things to create large edifice, and as I said elsewhere yesterday, I see this Prime Minister as someone who is somewhat interested in what is called legacy project. Right? So you build out this or you build that, and so you say, boy, Andrew, build that. Of course, all prime ministers build, right?
Who am I building for?
Well, that is the thing, because if you do all of that, then you're not developing the people appreciably. Then who is going to occupy? Who is going to work there? Who is going to do whatever? You know? I mean, but you see, one of the things, you know, competition get away. Mr. Patterson was given the name the builder, or Mr. Infrastructure. And Andrew said that, listen, he is the builder. So apparently he is there competing, but what PJ did, PJ basically was able to take people with him. So Mr. Holness basically consider that and how he's taking the people with him. You can't talk about employment at a certain level when everybody, I want to encourage people to drive along the corridor in Spanish Town there, that little corridor where the food for the poor is. About 1 million stall on it. Everybody has sell 2-3 sticks and 2 bottles of water and this, that, and so on. That is the employment that we have. And any corridor along Jamaica, even the housing development, I don't not going to call any of them, but their housing development in central Jamaica and elsewhere, that to enter into these communities now are pure stalls.
Oh, we are going to get the government to invest in us.
I don't know, sir. Hello?
Yes, Conrad.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think we should do to get them to invest in us?
So, we don't even know what to do to get the government to invest in us.
I'm asking you, what do you think?
I think we need a third party.
We need a third party?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
To balance the argument.
Mm-hmm.
To balance the majority of us in Jamaica.
You
who don't have it.
Mm-hmm. That's an idea. That's a good idea you're floating. But do you believe that Jamaica is in a mood for any third party, sir? We have seen third parties. It's not a lack of third parties, you know. In the last...
Conrad,
hold on.
You see that time I was living in now?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes.
It's different from the past here.
My friend, listen.
Yeah.
Just in case you're not aware, it wasn't the PNP and the JLP alone that contested the last election. There were other political parties that contested. I think even Al Miller, Reverend Al Miller, came up with a party. Other parties are
Indeed back off.
Good. But there were other But there were other parties.
Them never organized properly.
Hold on. Let's be practical here. I'm not saying that we don't need a third party. You know. Indeed, we do. We need all fourth and fifth, right?
Yes.
But the truth is
that's the third me I talk about. Third now.
Yeah, but the truth is that we have seen millions, if not billions of dollars used to outfit third party here in Jamaica, and they came to naught. That is why Bruce Golden.
That was in the past.
Sir, it is even worse now. But it is even worse now.
Oh, so we'll get worse.
But of course. Then even in Jamaica right now with the two-party system, when so many people opt out of the political process, and you just allow a small group of people to make decision for you, it's getting worse.
Yeah, because of the corruption inside there.
So what you want to say about the United States? Record number of people turned out in the New York election recently to elect their mayor. Record number turned out in the last general election in the United States of America. So the people are participating.
Our system is not like that. Our system is not like that.
How you mean our system not like that? What do you mean?
Our system different from the American voting system.
What do you mean?
We talk about voting from mayor a while ago.
Yes.
Yes. Which election we have ever voted for mayor?
In Portmore.
Huh?
In Portmore, we do have that, sir.
Portmore alone.
Yes, but I'm making a general point.
Yes.
You must listen sometime, you know, Papa. Listen, man.
Yeah.
I am saying to you, sir, that the fact of the matter, I use the mayoral race in New York to say that more and more people are participating in the process. I'm even using the last election in the United States general election. More people went out. In our situation, we're having less and less people participating in the process. Granted, the last election in Jamaica was more than 2020, but far cry from what we should have.
When I say, like how the people might get less and less in the voting system. If we have a third party, more people will come out.
I don't know that is so.
All right, all them two parties will get out more people to vote.
Well, first of all, the people themselves have to basically understand that election have consequences. And what you have to do, you have to basically look at manifestos, look at the proposal, look at what had happened before, and put all of that out there and match it. And there's also a body of people who out there that is called intelligentsia, right? The middle class, who have always basically set the tone. They have retreated. We need to have those persons back in the process. Right?
Yes.
They're absconding their responsibility. We have to go Africa, taking another call. Let me
Conrad.
Let me go to the... Go ahead.
We just glad to see the people abscond the king.
All right, my friend.
What we are going to do forget them in back in night?
We will explore that Africa. We will definitely explore.
Give thanks, Conrad.
Every time. It's a blessing. All right, let's move on to another call. All right. Hello, caller.
Yes, sir, morning.
Hi, how are you doing, Milton?
Yes, sir. First thing first, I could deal with 2011. Was it? Yes, 2011, the PMP Labour Party by 2-1. And Colonel Chad said if they, he was addressing his fellow MPs. And he said word to the effect that, to say, if they have a third party, people who vote for a third party, the whole of you will be in Parliament now. Can you recall that statement, sir?
No.
Yeah, man, but that's Colonel Charles Senior. He said that 2011.
I'm not saying he didn't. You asked me if I can recall. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he said, yes, sir. So, Jamaica people is not in a position, educational-wise, to have a third party, sir. But that become a force to be reckoned with now, as we speak, sir.
I don't know that is so, because this is not unique to Jamaica. What happened? You have countries, whether it is Britain, the United States, or what, major democracies, large countries, not Jamaica. Jamaica is a dot, really. But certainly the two-party system is embedded in a lot of countries. It's a similar problem. I think if a third party, there are all third parties in the United States, and people run independent, and they suffer the same fate that our third party or independent suffer in Jamaica. So it is something that ingrained in Jamaica with the PNP and the JLP, right? What we need to do is to find a way to ensure that people become more interested in the politics.
But remember say, you see England? England, I say it on this program, England is in excess of 200 odd years ahead of us in terms of our political thing. England people, they might get not 100%, but they might get proper representation from the two political parties, whether the Labour, the Conservative, unlike Jamaica. You think, but no disrespect to the most honorable Prime Minister. You think two of them top class jurists could pronounce on a prime minister in England and he still remain intact,
No,
big man?
absolutely not.
Then the argument anyway, we don't really go to Mr. Trump now, if you don't mind.
Absolutely not. But don't leave now.
All right, big man. Don't compare England with Jamaica.
Hold on. What you say is so, right? That what passed here, we have a lot of people who are ministers and things like that. They couldn't stay one day in the House of Commons.
Nobody do that, man. Because even them brother there, we see the police them kill up. Me the correctional service say why they have less repeat offenders now because they have trade and counseling on the way there. But then I tell you say why we have less repeat offenders because the police are kill them by the Jews.
But I still remain wedded to the point I'm making is that listen, the fact of the matter is that the
anyway,
Milton,
can we go to United States now?
Milton, please.
Yes, sir, thank you. Mr. Trump, no.
Go ahead.
As him, with the brother name, some people refer to him as Conrad. Statue reinstalled at the White House now under tighter security and barricade, Because remember in 2020 when them kill the brother, George Floyd, and the whole heap of march all over the world, them they topple the brother from the Columbus statue from Arizona and throw it part of it in the sea, So they retrieve it to build up back the one that they have at the White House now as we speak. And the White House compound.
Bigger and better.
Pardon me?
Bigger and better according to them.
So Trump can't, Mr. Trump, you return back there on that time, big man, with the greatest respect, you are trying, And I hope you're seeing like cute until people now go back to 1494 or 1655. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, Mr. Trump. And imagine Kurt, we install it now in the White House under 24-hour security. Interesting times ahead.
Yes.
The beach access now, Mr. O'Brien, if you don't mind, sir.
Go ahead.
Two people were on Nationwide and behind the headline talking about it, and both of them recommend that the government withdraw this one and come again, go back to the drawing board, What say you want it, sir?
Beyond the headline, the last time I checked was the Radio Jamaica program.
Pardon me?
Beyond the headlines, the last time I checked was a Radio Jamaica program.
Yeah, JR. Yeah, so they were saying that they think that Mr. Hollis outlined really beach access in Parliament last Thursday. They said the person, two doctor, Miss Moody, and the next gentleman. The gentleman was on RFM Sunday morning. He said better than go back.
That's Dr. Goff?
I think in your head or something like that, Taylor, Dr. Taylor. But Miss Moody, man, Rodriguez Moody.
Yes.
Yes, and a brother named Dr. Taylor. He was also on RFM.
I'm aware of that, both of them.
Yes, sir. So with the greatest respect to the Parliament, it's a short change thing with the visa access to the average people here, sir. Because the tourists at all time, the tourists are gonna get the benefit of it more than the average man and woman who want to go to a beach, Because most of the beaches, not tell them by the front, not tell them,
Interesting.
And they are talking about this man-made Yes. You want to elaborate on it for your listeners, sir?
I will. But I'm moving on now. But certainly it is this beach access policy that is being promulgated now. It's something that has to be perused very, very carefully, because you could end up even worse off on where we are now if it's not thought through properly. Thanks a lot, Milton.
Yes, and don't compare Jamaica politics with England, sir. Bad business.
All right. I don't
Pick
know.
up yourself.
All right.
Pick up yourself.
Take care. I am making comparison as it relates to third parties situation, whether it is in the UK, whether it is in the US or in Jamaica. The fact of the matter is that you have two dominant parties in this country, and it is not an easy thing. The Milton seems to be still on the line there. All right. So he's gone. So you have it's not easy. It's not the easiest of job to basically get a third party to come and do well. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Conrad.
Hi, how you doing? Welcome.
I'm not too bad. Yes, this is my little piece on what's going on.
Yes.
And Miss Rosie or Rosalie, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, this has been happening for a long time, and it's time that these things change. When it comes on to members of parliament and councillors, it's just free for all. Any and everybody is handling the taxpayers' funds. Now, some persons, you can't trust them to be accountable. With that integrity to say whether someone is watching this or no, I'm going to do the right thing. They have a problem with.
But caller, one sec. Rosalie Hamilton, the counsel for the Raytown Division, she made some very damning allegation against her member of parliament for Central Kingston. We have not heard the member of parliament come out so far and say, deny or anything, because if what Rosie is saying is true, certainly this is indeed damning, and maybe the member of parliament should not be sitting in the house.
And I know Rosie for a long time because I used to work in those areas as a teacher and so on in those areas, those schools around. Now, she's a strong person.
Very strong.
And I know her. She would not come out on the media. Knows what it would be, legally. Therefore, we are still waiting on the other side to come and give their story. So let's see how this is going to turn out. But to talk, this was what I was going to say. Now you realize that they are using books just the same way. When this time has passed on or passed by, wherein in the bank or something like that, and the monies, when it come on to procurement and things to be done in communities, people to be paid, they must go directly to the bank. These people's hands, because they cannot be trusted. We have seen it in time past, and we are seeing it more often now. Corruption beyond corruption. This ought not to be. So many people are angling taxpayers' funds.
Yes.
Who needs to get the help? And it's time that Andrew Holness, he says he's a leader. And he's going to talk about Mark Golding, apart from him running offices and all of that. He has failed me. That means he's not fit for office. You can't have so much corruption going on and on. And he's not coming out to address any of it. He's silent. With roads and the fixing of roads, times and times, I won't call any name, people have taken taxpayers' funds and they have gotten out.
Yes.
still get away, right? And I know of an individual, he's not in the island in Jamaica anymore, and he went to court and he was freed. This can't be. How much Jamaican people is going to take? It's
yes.
Inflation now. How are they going to manage? Jamaica going back to IMF. No, this can't work. They must be held accountable. The system must change. They must pay it back. They have assets out there. Seize those and put back the money in the government's treasury. Mr. Brown.
Well, one of the first thing that we have to do, because you can't just seize. One of the first thing that we have to do, we have to have the courts have to pronounce on these things. So it behooves the police or the relevant agencies, when these things are identified or these allegations are out there, the investigation have to be done. And certainly, if persons are found guilty or find guilty, then what you just articulate must be done. You know, if they have properties, if they have assets and so on, that they use ill-gotten gain to achieve, then that must be sold and the money turned over to the treasury.
Yes, I agree. And that is what I am about right now. Now, them to be taking the money and getting away, the active branches in Jamaica, the investigative branches departments must get up now. Be active. Do their job. They are being paid to do their job. Do your job. It cannot continue. Start doing it.
Yeah, man. So therefore, there's a lot of allegations that are out there. And as I said before, you know, until the relevant authority, as you said, do their investigation and these persons are found guilty, then, you know, we have to just treat it as allegation. Thanks a lot there.
One question before I hang up. One short question before I hang up.
Yes.
Do you believe Christopher Tufton must be investigated just the same as Alvaz? Do you think so?
I believe all of them, that all allegations raised must be investigated. Thanks a lot, ma'am. All right.
How long must we continue like this? And every 5 years, we jump up like we're a bunch of idiots. I have never seen in all my entire 50-something years in this country see so much corruption. I saw it in the 1990s. But the 1990s is baby compared to this. This Andrew Holness government is one of the most corrupt political organization in the history of this country. This Andrew Holness administration is one of the most corrupt political administration in the history of Jamaica. I can repeat it again. This Andrew Holness administration, led by the leader himself, who is the Prime Minister of this country, Andrew Michael Bogard Holness, is one of the most corrupt organization in the history of Jamaica. One of the most corrupt government known. Everywhere you turn, corruption here, corruption there. And the sad part of it,
this government does not hear about your help. I hear the spirit of a little baby crying, 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 saying, why didn't the people keep the Labour Party government in? If the Labour Party government was in, I would still be alive. I hear the spirit of the 18 babies that have died because of the incompetent of this government. 18 babies have died. She don't need to pass the law. She don't need to lock up anybody to demonstrate her real care and concern for the children of this nation. All she needs to do is to fire the Minister of Health. I've had to work for anything that I have had. I have said it before and I will say it again. I don't know what a gold spoon looks like. It has never been in my mouth.
So, Comrade Golden, when I hear Andrew, I say I'm never born with gold spoon in my mouth. That does not mean you should steal it.
I have no inheritance or any endowment or any trust fund anywhere.
That does not mean you should steal it.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people. This government has been doing everything it can to weaken and undermine the Integrity Commission, which is an institution that I designed as Minister of Justice and brought the legislation to Parliament to fight corruption in this country. I have said it before and I will tell you again. Jamaica cannot move forward without a government built on integrity that embraces principles of good governance in this country.
To Parliament, you don't have a bench warmer or a table knocker, but you have a champion who is ready to serve you. And so I do not have to ask, but I know no one me ask anyway. Northwest St. Anne, are you ready?
Softly and tenderly, your home is calling you. Come home. Come home. Softly and tenderly, Desi home is calling. Calling for Desi Mackenzie. Come home. Come home. Softly and tenderly, Desmond home is calling. Calling for Uncle Desmond Mackenzie. Come home. Come home. Termite eating out Desi brain. Come home. Come home. Softly and tenderly, Desi home is calling. Calling. Come home, Desmond Mackenzie. Come home. Mama. No, sir. Desmond saying, how long must we continue like this? And every 5 years, we jump up like we're a bunch of idiots. I have never seen in all my entire 50-something years in this country. So see so much corruption. I saw it in the 1990s. But the 1990s is baby compared to this. This Andrew Holness government is one of the most corrupt political organization in the history of this country. This Andrew Holness administration is one of the most corrupt political administration in the history of Jamaica. I can repeat it again. This Andrew Holness administration, led by the leader himself, who is the Prime Minister of this country, Andrew Michael Bogard Holness, is one of the most corrupt organization in the history of Jamaica. One of the most corrupt government known. Everywhere you turn, corruption here, corruption there. And the sad part of
softly and tenderly, your home is calling you. Come home. Come home. Softly and tenderly, Desi home is calling. Calling for Desi Mackenzie. Come home. Come home. Softly and tenderly, Desmond home is calling. Calling for Uncle Desmond Mackenzie. Come home. Come home. Termite eating out Desi brain. Come home. Come home. Softly and tenderly,
Hello,
your
welcome
home is
caller.
calling you.
Good morning, Mr. Brian, and good morning to your listeners also.
Hi, how you doing, Anthony? Good morning to
I am
you.
not bad at all, you know.
Good, good.
But at all, I'm giving thanks.
Every time.
You listen to the budget debate with the Prime Minister?
Yes, I do, but I can't say I remember everything or I listen everything. So what in particular you...
No, I just want to ask about the new Parliament building that he said he's going to build. Did he mention anything about it? You know?
Yes, I think so where that is back on the in circulation where talk about we need a new Parliament building, but as you know, and I can understand we may very well need a new Parliament building, but I don't know if those are things that are priority right now. I hear this new Parliament building, the new Hub Park camp, and well, not new Hub Park camp, the new Hub Park camp is Hub Park camp, the new Warwick Hill camp, and all of those sort of things. I don't know that those are the pressing things that we need to get at right now at all. I really don't think so. Right? When you move across the length and breadth of Jamaica, the road is in such deplorable condition. All sort of things need to be fixed. There are districts that need their road to be widened so you can feel a sense of development or so on when those communities are that people live there and so on. And the whole place is just in a damn deplorable condition. And we're talking about building new soldier camp and new Parliament building and so for what? Come on, man.
I think the reason why I asked him is because I already mentioned that Up Park Camp thing there that he's gonna build.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was wondering if he spoke about the new Parliament bill that he says is going to build. But I haven't seen any movement on that. I think that can be take time. Little by little, build on. But to announce so many more things, big project, and the people are suffering. I don't think it is necessary at the moment. I don't say he can't talk about those things, but I mean, he should think about the people on the ground, as they said, right now because people are suffering.
The
So
Prime
many
Minister
people are
will tell you that
displaced.
he is inspirational, so I'm looking is the future, So let's see what that will be. But right now there are so many pressing things to basically uplift our people and so on, rather than talking about a new camp at Warwick Hill, a new parliament building, and all these kind of fluff. I don't know that they make sense.
I don't think they're needed right now because people on the ground are suffering. Too many people are not under shelter, properly sheltered. Those things are important, and we should concentrate on our bridges, gullies right now. Those things are very important, because when our gully overflow on our bridges, people cannot cross the bridges, to bring what they produce to market or to send the children to school and those type of things. Those things slow down productivity in Jamaica, and those are things that we should be focusing on. Building our bridges, looking after our people, cleaning our gullies, fixing our road. Those are the important things right now. Not up park, not building a soldier camp now. Those things is not necessary at all. As a layman, I can see to that. It doesn't necessary right now. So I hope the Prime Minister may listen to people when they are talking and don't think that people are bad mind. People are talking about the immediate need on the ground, and that's what he should be focusing on. That's my take, because I think that's important. Are you hearing me, Mr. Brian? Are you hearing?
Yeah, man, I'm listening to you. Okay. I'm listening to you, my friend.
Yeah, man, because right now we should be fixing our road rapidly because right now we have another hurricane. We are gonna get a lot of rain. So we should be fixing every pothole and every little breakaway and those things. Because if we allow them to deteriorate, it's gonna cost more money. And we are the taxpayers, we are gonna feel it. So the Prime Minister have to think honestly, and don't look hype, because I think what he's doing is to build for a premise for action to come. Because he knows that he will get the backing from the soldier. He knows he will get the backing from the police. So he's trying to let those people feel good.
Well, as Lloyd B said earlier, he is concerned, and he had said it here and elsewhere. He's concerned about this. If we go into a military state or a police state or so on, So I don't know. Jamaica is not a place that is under threat or preparing for any form of war or so on. So I don't see this heavy concentration. What is it for? To use them on our own people? That makes no sense. While you have people who are languishing, you have schools that need to be built. You need schools that can basically are friendly for classroom that's friendly for learning. All of those sort of things. I'd rather to hear the Prime Minister basically trot out ideas that, listen, we're going to be looking across the length and breadth of Jamaica, whether it is the government infant school or the basic school that are basically run by private people. And so how can we assist in those areas to ensure that we have a proper foundation? So we have students who are matriculating from that area into our primary school, and then from the primary school into secondary school at a good clip. And if they decide to go into the work world, they would go into the work world ready with certain basic numeracy and literacy skills, so they can make meaningful contribution to the society. I can't see this fixation and these edifices that the Prime Minister often promulgated, sir. I'm afraid.
I'm gonna say the last two things on this.
Go ahead.
One is that the Prime Minister seems to be in a competition. Whenever time the opposition come out and put out some good plan, the Prime Minister try to counteract it and try to go above, to do more. That's one, and that's not a good thing. You have to think on your own. Secondly, I think that if the Prime Minister lead by example and put down his foot in Jamaica, I think that we wouldn't have so many police killing in this country, and we wouldn't have so many corruption. I think he need to come out and to talk about corruption more, or he's against it and so forth, and to speak with police force. A matter of fact, it's security force in general, because I think that if he come out and say, security forces, do your job well and do it well. Don't abuse people. Don't do certain things. Then I think we wouldn't have so many police killings in this country, and we wouldn't have so many corruption. But I think that the Prime Minister just lay back and say, okay, all right, let them do what they have to do, because
well, to be honest, I've heard the Prime Minister said it before, that the police must do their job professionally and so on. However, maybe he's not strident enough, and because I can't tell the last time that I heard of police who are involved in shooting, say, boy, they have taken off frontline duties or anything like that. I haven't heard, seems as if that's not in vogue anymore. But to be fair to the Prime Minister, I've heard him said to the police officers that they must act professionally and they must treat citizens with respect. As to whether or not he has been strident enough, that's another story. But to say have not said it at all, that would not be truthful.
No. I would have said that either, because I heard him say it about 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about and trying to instill
mm-hmm.
in him, because I don't think he is doing that. Is to come out more often and speak about it.
All right. Thanks a lot.
That's important.
Yeah,
if you do that, then the police is going to say, all right, you know what? We're not going to get the bucket from the Prime Minister if we go out of the law.
Repetition,
so you know
repetition is good. Repetition is always good. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my friend. All right. Good. All right. So that's my friend there calling through. Anthony making his point. Always a measured caller. So the lines are open. We're taking your calls. You can give us a call and let's hear what's on your mind. Hello, caller. Okay, all right. It's now 19 minutes after 11 o'clock, and the Gleaner on its front page, and I'm coming. I know there are a lot of messages, the chat room is quite active. Keep it coming. Send on your messages in the chat room on the YouTube channel there. See, it's quite active. The Gleaner said doctors in departure lounge and 4 chartered flights to take Cubans home by weekend. Medical professionals urge local officials to think about the people who need their service. All right? So as the Cuban falls on more than half a century of medical cooperation with Jamaica, highly trained Cuban specialists will begin exiting the island this Thursday, departing on 4 chartered flights from Kingston to their homeland, which has been reeling from increasingly frequent island-wide blackout linked to a United States U.S. imposed fuel blockade. The members of the medical brigade, long celebrated for their decades of service to Jamaica, and Jamaicans said that while they were disappointed that their tour of duty ended abruptly, they are happy to be returning to their families. All right? So they are, and this is it. So the Cubans, they are not seeking to basically jump ship. They are quite happy with their governance and their arrangement in Cuba. And they understand that being here, they have to do this to basically assist their brothers and sisters. And that's how the whole, system operates there. Do we have any? Okay. You want us to go to, Marlon had sent us a clip. We want to ensure that we play that clip for him. So as soon as you cue it up, you let me know. I don't want senators to say we don't play a clip. It's right. It's there now, Madam Producer. All right, let's go to the clip. This is a clip that was taken from a popular YouTube channel hosted by Andre Stevens, and I think it's called Pardon the Draw TV. So Marlon sent us this clip with Mark Golding, who was a guest there last night. Let's hear the clip from opposition leader. All right, we're trying to get it cued properly.
FinSac is once and for all given to the people.
Hello?
Andre, because there is no
You want to start it back so we can get everything? All right. We're going to start it. We want you to hear all of it.
That FinSac is once and for all given to the people. That report is who
well,
really benefit.
The FinSac situation is difficult, Andre, because there is no report
what is
to deliver. They never wrote it. They never completed their report.
What is it, Mr. Golding?
Yeah.
Mr. Golding, what you just said?
Yes.
150 million and the report not complete?
Correct. And so I think that is just water under the bridge. What Nigel Clark said he was going to do was establish a website and put all of the materials, all of the evidentiary materials and so on that were generated by the process of that commission of inquiry were going to be put on a website. But, that's who has time to...
All right, fine. So let's not split hairs and that one. What happened? This is the situation, and that is what have been called for to say that, listen, after extending $150 million, then indeed a final report should have been presented, and that is what is being called for. So when you said publish the report, it means that you should collate the information and put it together in a way that people can understand it. What happened, you wouldn't put the whole entire, maybe how much pages and so on, but certainly you'd get that report in a summary form that would have outlined the main appendage of that report. So that's what we're saying. So I think to split hairs and to say, listen, you're calling for reports and there's no report there and so on, I think we have to understand that the gravamen of the point is that get the report out, collate the information and put that report. Because after spending $150 million, how much more would you pay the persons who basically had gone through that body of work to basically put that document together so that people could get it and have it in a booklet form or whatever, hard copy or soft copy, and look at it, rather than to be going through an archive, poring over all sorts of things. That could be an additional aspect of the whole FinSac saga, but a report is definitely necessary for the public to have. All right? So Marlon did play your clip, sir. So the Cubans are saying they are indeed happy to be returning home to their families. All right? And we wish them all the very best and their home side. And we're getting some information that, the Cubans could basically have some oil or petrol or whatever it is within the next couple of days, because friendly country is looking at giving them, let me see if I can get the information here. Friendly nation is looking at assisting them in that regard. So we await to see if that will indeed materialize, because this is suffering that is being caused by the tightening of the screws by the United States, right? The screw been tightened by the United States of America. So therefore, it is not good at all. Youngsters, old people, everybody, the medical area, the schools, our own Jamaicans, or they're studying and so on, they are also feeling the pinch. So we're urging the world to, look at our brothers and sisters in Cuba, and indeed people across the world who are going through very difficult times. We want to remember them at this moment in time. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Hello, welcome caller. Hello? Caller? Not hearing.
You know, my topic this morning is if I wish, Marlon Morgan.
Hold on.
Marlon Morgan.
Miss P.
Mm-hmm.
Don't shout. Just speak softly.
Me not shout, man.
All right, go ahead.
But we are all Jamaican. And I'm not always fool. Marlon Morgan. This is from Miss P to you. History now go treat you well. Okay? When you come on national radio, you are not talking only to your political colleague. You are talking to a nation of people on the island and half the island. So may I ask if you stop, come with your propaganda, speak sensible. You are talking about your high places that you are. You know no high place. You've been at Carl, Andre, Stephen, show this, that. But me tell you something, Marlon Morgan. You and Andre was at the same place at the same time. Never forget. A person who forget where them come from, now go remember, now go know where them go. Right?
How long must we continue like this? And every 5 years, we jump up like we're a bunch of idiots. I have never seen in all my entire 50-something years in this country see so much corruption. I saw it in the 1990s. But the 1990s is baby compared to this. This Andrew Holness government is one of the most corrupt political organization in the history of this country. This Andrew Holness administration is one of the most corrupt political administration in the history of Jamaica. I can repeat it again. This Andrew Holness administration, led by the leader himself, who is the Prime Minister of this country, Andrew Michael Bogard Holness, is one of the most corrupt organization in the history of Jamaica. One of the most corrupt government.
Me know worthless Donovan, bitch Donovan, worthless Donovan. Me know your file. Me know your file. You understand that? Worthless Donovan. Croft. Me know worthless Donovan, bitch Donovan, worthless Donovan. Me know your file. Me know your file. You understand that? Worthless Donovan. Croft.
How long must we continue like this? And every 5 years, we jump up like we're a bunch of idiots. I have never seen in all my entire 50-something years in this country see so much corruption. I saw it in the 1990s. But the 1990s is baby compared to this. This Andrew Holness government is one of the most corrupt political organization in the history of this country. This Andrew Holness administration is one of the most corrupt political administration in the history of Jamaica. I can repeat it again. This Andrew Holness administration, led by the leader himself, who is the Prime Minister of this country, Andrew Michael Bogard Holness, is one of the most corrupt organization in the history of Jamaica. One of the most corrupt government known. Everywhere you turn, corruption here, corruption there. And the sad part of it,
take your TRN.
Sun a shine, but things not bright. Do a pot a boil, bickle not enough. River flood and rain a fall. Rain a fall, but dirty tough. Nowadays the time so hard, when you ask Maddie how them do, them afraid you take it, tell them back so them no answer you. No care how much we da work for hard times, still in our shot. We da fight, hard time a beat we. They might raise we wages, but £1 gone and pound we pay and we no feel no merriment. For £10 gone and pound we food and £10 pound we rent. Saltfish gone up, mackerel gone up, beef and pork gone up same way. And when rice and butter ready, them just go up a holiday. Cloth, boot, pin and needle gone up. Ice bread taxes, water rate, kerosene, oil, gasoline gone up. And the pound devaluate. The price of bread gone up so high that we have to agree to cut we hype and bread and all turn dumpling refugee. And all them Margaret Smaddy, whether go on like fatty sin, all them they whether fast with me. I left them to dumpling.
Welcome back. We're in the final half an hour of the program, Straight, Tear and Sleek Radio, which is truly Conrad O'Brien. Of course, we're up on the 93 FM band, and we are streaming live via www.sleekradio.com. We're also live up on the Conrad Obi, the Fireman YouTube channel. Just now, we drop the feed on the YouTube channel, but we're back up there. Thanks for coming back on, and keep the chat room active. You know, we'll see what's going on there. Haven't been able to read a lot from the chat room since morning, but certainly keep it active. We will revisit the chat room. All right. We have Miss P, who is online. Let's conclude this call with Miss P. Hello, Miss P? Miss P? We lost. All right. Miss P, she left us. All right. So let's invite your calls. 876-212-9824, 876-212-9824, and also 876-462-0919. Madam Producer, I gather that the MP for Central Kingston, Mr. Williams, Donovan Williams, issued a statement through his lawyer, a cease and desist letter through his lawyer. So interesting development there. As soon as we get our hands on the letter, we will share same with you. But the story is being developed as we speak. Of course, there has been a lot of allegations against the Member of Parliament coming from one of his sitting councillor, his councillor for the Raytown division. Of course, there are two divisions in the Raytown area there, of which Rosie is the councillor for one, and she represents the Jamaica Labour Party in the KSAMC. And there seems to be major bleeding and bad blood developed between Rosie and the MP. She made damning allegations against the member. And as we're reporting now, we gather that there have been a cease and desist. Will she cease and desist, or she believe that she has enough material to buttress her point, so therefore she will continue apace? We wait to see that. As a matter of fact, as we speak, I'm seeing where friends of mine within the Labour Party, they have sent me, can't play it now, but they have sent me things even just now coming out of that. I'll share same with you, Madam Producer, as soon as I can. Talking about friends or people that I am, from the Labour Party. Of course, you heard me the other day talking about Showerman, my Labour right friend, who and who normally call the program. He called me. He is from Denham Town or Tivoli, one of those communities there. I think he is from, and I was rather concerned, Madam Producer. So of course, the other day we, as we always do, we inquire as to what is happening to some of our listeners. And suffice it to say that Shawan called me. I should have bring you up to speed on it. He called me and said to me that he listens every day, just the same. He is okay. Hello, caller?
Conrad,
Yes.
I'm calling back.
No problem.
Finish my call. Conrad. Yes, I love to read this, man. I love history. I turn this down and come back. Hold on.
Please turn it down.
Conrad.
I love my voice, but you're overburdened.
Because I don't know. The thing just come back. Let me go somewhere else. I love to read this, Conrad, and I love history and I love literature. Two subjects I really, really love.
Yes.
Look here. In Animal Farm, George Orwell's Animal Farm,
yes,
is the main antagonist, Napoleon. He had his sidekick named Squealer. Squealer, everything Napoleon say, Squealer used to say, Napoleon is right. I'm paraphrasing here. Like listen to Napoleon, and stuff.
Did you read Scarlet Pimpernel?
No,
all right.
But Animal Farm and George and 1984, two good books, political satire. And then again, in literature with Shakespeare. Oh God, what am I going to say? Chumako off track. But I want to say to Stacey, Mr. Morgan, you can't keep on defending the indefensible all the time. Sometimes you need to look inward and say this is not right. But now tell us, come out and go against
you may.
The Prime Minister. We know that it's not right. Okay, Conrad, you made mention of the youngster that lost an eye. I can never draw back Marlon and draw him up, right away. To me, my little bird brain tell me say he would have obfuscated to the fact as if to say then the administration down by the school, they are the ones that are at fault for this young gentleman losing an eye. And that's not right, Marlon.
Yes. Marlon is carrying out a political duty and him using some skill, but sometimes he has to basically dress back and recognize that, listen, there are some things that you can give a little, and because that's how the whole communication work, politically or otherwise. You have to give a little and dress back, because in terms of the youngster that I just mentioned, this information was brought to me by somebody, a past students of the school, and somebody who is intimately involved with the school,
Yeah, because aesthetically, this youngster will have to first of all, he have to go reprogram himself, to the loss of the eye, and then again, aesthetically to Conrad, for a young man, to lose an eye in the prime of life, I go and I look at girls, them, so he will have to be reprogrammed, have to have some strong, his family, people around him that will tell him he is no less of a human, from the loss of an eye. So this is what Marlon should do. All right, what, Conrad, I'm going to look into it. You call the school, you call the administration and see what happened. Then you and the minister, because you're her right hand, you get and see what can be done and see if there's any more faulty equipment.
And indeed say thanks to me for basically bringing him up to speed, because obviously he's saying he weren't aware of it. But, sometimes you have to be a little bit humble to deal with those things, I gather.
Yes, Conrad, because Jamaica, we mirror what happened up north. And people will get Jamaica soon become a litigious society where people are going to start sue for negligence. You understand me?
It has become, or it is becoming more and more that sort of society where people are more quicker now than in the past to basically deal with, take things to the court. Some time ago, people would say, boy, listen, I'm not going to no courthouse, and so people are more willing so to do at this time. And this certainly is something that I believe is going to end up in the courts.
And we are churning out lawyers now, Conrad. Remember, that is one of the preferred professions, you know. So you have lawyers. Yes, when they investigate and they see a case, they want to take on the case. I said, poor people come here not to have no money because at the end I will be paid.
Absolutely,
You
because
understand me?
a case like this is a solid pro bono case, you know. So you will have lawyers that will be happy to take it out. Thanks a lot, Marie.
Yeah, so Manalan, you call up the minister and you call up administrations for schools that at this time.
Thanks a lot, Marie. Have to go. All right, have to go. Thanks a lot. All right, let's continue to take the calls. Hello, caller. Welcome to Straight Up, right here and Sleek Radio. How you doing?
Morning, fireman.
Hi, yeah, man. Talk to me.
You look married there.
Good.
Yeah. Conrad.
Yes, man.
You know, sir, what if people are mad in Jamaica?
Well, I said yesterday that I saw 3 young ladies who seems as if they recently started to develop mental illness. I don't like to use the word mad, you know, but certainly a lot of people are suffering from mental illness, and I'm again using the opportunity today to say to family members, be aware of what is happening within your family, and identify early situation and try to deal with it.
Me have one family where I work at one of them home there. And she say a pair of young people are coming with the something in a bedroom. I say, I walk going around here. And then another thing again.
Yes.
AIDS are turn up in a Jamaica too, you know.
What? AIDS?
What you mean?
Oh, okay. Well.
All them people are not talking about these things. I walk going around here. Huh? You not talk to Tough Tan?
No, I haven't spoken to him recently. No, but from time to time, or on an annual basis, we normally get the number of HIV in Jamaica. I don't know if we have gotten any since the start of the year. I'm sure my producer will verify that. So we will share same, you know. I don't know if
Conrad. Conrad.
Yes.
We have a lot of work to do around here, you know. And these lazy people can't do it, you know.
All right.
Conrad.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot of work to do in Jamaica. We need the people them to, right now, the people them of Jamaica to get up, you know.
I would agree with you. I would agree with you. People have to be more involved in what is happening in their country. But what we celebrate overseas, you know, maybe England, Canada, the United States, even our neighbor, our Caribbean island, the Grand Cayman Island, and all of that. When we admire things that they are enjoying, it did not come easy. It's a matter of them basically put themselves into it and so on, and basically get there. There's also some responsibilities that our citizens must take for themselves. I'm seeing, and I continue to talk about this, the unsightly nature of communities, right? I'm urging people to take care of your surrounding, because certainly it is hindrance to the eye, not pleasing to the eyes, and certainly those kind of disposal of garbage within the communities can create all sorts of mayhem by way of diseases and so on, sir.
Conrad, you know, sir, we're not short of money, don't you?
Okay. Talk to me.
Conrad, how we are treat the people, and so that's most of them of your mother. And I go, you know, so the age to kill you, and you're gone around with the same way. And where we don't have promote, Conrad. They took too much money in the housing trust, Conrad.
All right, so let's encourage our people to practice safe sex. Because HIV is transmitted.
That's not going again. That's not going again. Them used to do it. Them stop it. No more than the promotion on TV and radio.
Okay, so So you're saying that the Ministry of Health need to step up that promotion?
Yeah, hear me now, Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
Try get tough and talk to him now before he left out office, you know.
All right, Africa. Take care. Bless you.
It's good to be here.
All right, cool. All right, Africa made this point. A good observation. We have to encourage our people to practice safe cohabitation by way of sexual intercourse. And of course, we, as I always said, that there are so many things that the people, we have our responsibility to carry out some of the things that will help our country and indeed our community to be a better place to live in, to raise families, and indeed make Jamaica a place to do business. All right? So we're urging each of us to play our role. I remember being head of a Citizens Association, and I normally preach on a daily basis whenever we have meetings, that is, the days that we had meetings. And I would say to the residents, that it's not about the edifice, the large edifice that we build in the communities, but it's about how we take care of the aesthetic of the community. That is a part of what will ensure that people are attracted to to the community, and indeed that will also help to maintain the value of your property. Because if you have unsightly community, unkept, and nobody wants to be a part of that community, then no matter how large the houses are, then certainly the value of those will go down. So there are a number of things that we have to do. Also raised yesterday that there are a number of older folks who are, some of them we hear from the hospital from time to time, a lot of social cases in the hospital. People take their loved ones to the hospital and they don't return for them. And some of these people are people who would have spent their last dollar and their children and so on and so forth. That's something that we need to urge our people to deal with. We know that some people are saying that, my goodness, they don't have the wherewithal to offer care and so on. But you have to address that. Some very, very key issues that we have to look at in this country in order to move us forward. You're listening to Sleek Radio right here on the Big 93. We're up live. We stream via www.sleekradio.com. And indeed, we're on the 93.5 band on your radio. And also we are live on the Conrad Obi, the Fireman YouTube channel as well. We invite you to like and share the channel, and please give us a subscription there. The Observer, we can take what, let's see, what time is it? We probably take, yes, we have about 8 minutes to go. We can take a couple more calls. Let me remind you of the numbers. The number is 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. All right. The Observer is reporting on its front page here. Front page here. Casey Heidel face title fight. And this is okay. Yes, this is today's paper saying that. And it's talking about the upcoming Boys and Girls Championship. So will Heidel be able to retain its championship, and will Kingston College defend its title successfully? So much anticipated Intersecondary School Sports Association ISA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championship run off today with champions Kingston College, Casey and Heidel girls hard pressed to retain their crowns. All right, Casey are hunting their fifth straight victory and a record extending 37th win there. All right, so let's see how that will goes. And of course, the girls out on the Mandela Drive there, they are expected to defend their title, but certainly we know that the young ladies from in the hills of Clarendon, they have different idea talking about the Edwin Allen girls. They are coming to basically, take home the bacon to central Jamaica. Will they be able to do it this time around? All right. Okay. A picture of Prime Minister Holness and Bishop Era Blair in the paper here. Jamaicans volleys under threat, says Holness. And it's good to see there's a convergence from both the leader of the opposition and the Prime Minister on this, that we really need to tackle the values and attitude scenario here in Jamaica. It was promulgated some time ago by former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson, and we allow politics to create a divide with that. So here we're back on. Heard Mark talk about it yesterday. Mr. Hollis also reiterate its commitment to work along with the opposition, or asking the opposition to work along with them. Let's see if they will show the commitment, because sometimes, it's about lip service. So days after the signal that this administration will not endorse alternative gender identities, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has embraced the vital role of the church in shaping values, providing guidance, and strengthening the country's social fabric. All right, so, and that conversation there obviously was during the Prime Minister's budget presentation, when he said that, their state, his administration decided that Jamaica would go with the West, and he was quoting something from Bustamante back then. So he said that, Jamaica will basically stand its ground and a number of things. However, he said one of the, while they would side with the West as it relates to geopolitics and so on and so forth. However, Jamaica will not change on certain things, i.e., a man is a man and a woman is a woman. I think the vast majority of us right here in Jamaica basically would subscribe to that notion. So that's a good thing there. We're winding down to the end of the program. It's 5 minutes before going up to the 11 o'clock hour right here in the studio of Sleek Radio 93 FM, as we continue to broadcast live from the studio here at the University of the West Indies, Mona campus in the parish of St. Andrew, Jamaica. By way of information, as we said, there has been this massive infighting in the Jamaica Labour Party. Certainly, we're seeing where it has basically blown up on social media. Situation there in central Kingston with the sitting member of parliament, Donovan Williams, yes, and Councillor Miss Rosalie Hamilton of the Raytown Division. They are basically going at it, and there are a lot of allegations there. However, we understand that the member of parliament issue a cease and desist statement, so we are watching that one. All right. Interesting scenario there. And also we are watching the situation over there in Western Portland as well. We understand that, Robert Miller, Big Robert Miller, is tipped to go there. Going to be rather interested to see if he will go all the way there. And indeed, will we see a could there be a possible by-election in the offing? And the present PNP candidate there is Miss Campbell, Doreen Campbell, but there are other names that we're hearing. Will the PNP stick with Doreen Campbell in that seat, or will there be an emerging of another candidate. That's you know, a part of the political dynamics that we are watching. The biggie, the schoolboy and schoolgirl championship that we're all glued into on an annual basis, start off the National Stadium today. And of course, as I mentioned just now, that defending champions, Kingston College on the boys' side and Hydel High on the girls' side, they are going and they are vowing to defend their championship title. But there are a number of schools who decide to that they're trying to spoil the party this time around. The boys at Reddell's Road, Calabar, I gather that they are feeling a very, very strong team this year, and certainly they are one to watch. Edwin Allen, I gather that they are rebuilding process, so they are Class 3, and they have a strong Class 3 team that is coming this year. It's good that they expected to pick up a lot of points from. So it's going to be very interesting to see at the end of the day who will basically walk away with the Marty McGivens trophy at the boys and girls championship this year, 2026, in the year of our Lord. The Western Jamaica, we understand that quite a bit of the hotels are trying their utmost to ensure that we're back in season, we're back in vogue, so we can start to see the tourism number get back to where it was. Of course, you know that the tourism sector is one that we really depend on for earnings, for job creation, and indeed to, you know, we're hoping that our farmers will be able to take advantage and to produce more so that our hotels can buy into that. All right, let me say thanks to our guest, Lloyd B. Smith. Lloyd B. Smith, on behalf of my producer, Tanya Richards, Conrad O'Brien, say, join me again tomorrow. Richie Ross, coming up.
That's how we have it. That's Conrad O'Brien show on the simulcast on the Make We Talk program right here on Make We Talk Now. That's Make We Talk Now. That's our new name, Make We Talk Now. You can go to Google and type in MEKWITALKNOW.com. That's Make We Talk Now. And when you go there, it take you straight to the YouTube channel. We're coming with so many other things. We're going to change up how we brand this program, how we do this program. We're coming up with so many things. You can see the logo already changed in the Make We Talk YouTube channel. The logo's already changed there. Other things are coming up. Join us this evening. I want to come on with an exciting episode of the Current Affair program. Part 2 of Bangarang in the JLP administration with the councillor and also with the member of parliament. Part 2 is hosted by none other than our own head boy. Will be hosting part 2. Hopefully this evening he'll be coming on. So until you hear our voice again, I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying thank you all very much for coming on to watch this program with us. I think at 2 o'clock we'll be having live coverage from the parliament. Is today's Tuesday? I think so. We're having live coverage from the parliament. So until then, God bless you. And God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Good evening, everybody. Sorry, good afternoon, everybody. Not good evening, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. God bless you all.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.